Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Empowered Pause. I am your host, Rachel Chinoa J. Good evening, everyone. Before we get started on today's topic, which is the power of words, I just want to give you a little bit of information about Speak Initiative. So, Speak Initiative is a nonprofit organization that is committed to combating the rise of suicide in our communities. SPEAK stands for Suicide Prevention Through Empowerment, Action, and Kindness. And of course, as you can see by the banner that's scrolling below, we are in fundraising mode. Yesterday was actually Giving Tuesday, so we're still accepting donations. We're still accepting information, maybe some partnerships or anyone who wants to work with Speak. And of course, we are here to assist anyone that may need our services. So the Empowered Pause is just one of the programs that we have under the empowerment philosophy. And we are here each week just to offer a few empowering words, space for our speakers to actually be heard, just space to actually give you a minute to pause, to check in, to see how everyone is doing, and to remind you it's okay not to be okay. Just because we're here every week does not mean that it's going to be cheerful every week, right? We have to acknowledge the reality of what's happening in our lives. And that feeds into what we spoke about last week, which was gratitude. So today, I want to talk a little bit about the power of words. Last week, when I talked about the unfortunate side of gratitude at times when we say, it could be worse, and not actually recognizing where we are or where we are in our present state of being, sometimes that can be detrimental to your health, right? You may not feel like you are being your true self or genuine to how you feel, because sometimes we actually mask and we just push aside how we feel, hoping that no one will be able to show, no one will be able to tell, or hoping it won't show, or hoping it will actually just pass, right? I'm here to tell you sometimes those things do happen, but the best course of action is to start the conversation with yourself, start the conversation with somebody who's trusted, to see if there's something that you want to change about your life. Now, today's topic is the power of words. Last week, we went into how speaking to yourself negatively can actually impact your mental health, right? If you don't acknowledge where you presently are, sometimes those untruths will come out and attack you in a way that you may not expect. The superpower that we have is our words. We can speak life in any situation and in at any moment, even if the situation is not pleasurable, even if it's something that we're going through and it's challenging. Maybe we're in the middle of a crisis. We can still speak life in those moments. The power of our words is so unique because not only is the sound vibrating into the universe, but you're hearing it, you're thinking it, you're speaking it at the same time to solidify that energy, right? So be intentional about the words that you're actually using, about yourself and about how you're feeling, right? If you're in a space where your feelings are heavy, maybe it might be sadness or depression or something to that effect, speak to yourself and do an assessment, right? Check in. This is why we have this pause, so you can get a reminder just to check in with yourself. If you're not feeling well, speak yourself into health, into wellness. You can do that. There's a known fact that there are over 1 million thoughts in our minds per day. We have the ability to change those thoughts. We change the way we think, we change the way we speak, we change the way we are. It doesn't happen overnight. I'm not saying this is some magic formula, you start speaking life under yourself or over yourself, and then things automatically start changing, but slowly. And this goes back to last week's conversation of gratitude. When we express true gratitude for the things that are working and probably not working the best way, but still existing in our space, that's when I've experienced that more doors and more opportunities open up in those moments. Even if it's just you're grateful for the small things and the things that we sometimes take for granted. I'm grateful I woke up. I'm grateful I was able to brush my teeth today. I'm grateful I was able to shower and put my hair up by myself. Those small steps that you can actually take to begin to feel better, right? Not to say, again, it's going to happen overnight, but you can start that process. I was told by a friend recently that every morning I should look in the mirror and tell myself how much I love myself, even if I don't feel like it that day, even if, I'm stressed out or I don't feel beautiful or I don't feel, like I'm beaming, still say it, because the words will eventually become life. The reason why this organization is called Speak, it's not only because we are preventing suicide, but speaking is an action word. We are moving through an environment where we have to take control of ourselves, take control of our words, which turn into our actions. So I encourage you, as well as I encourage myself on a regular basis, to speak. I know that when I started to actually articulate and open my mouth and hear my own voice and be honest about the things that were occurring in my life, or the things that I was struggling with, or my dreams or my accomplishments, or the good sides too, until I started to acknowledge them and to speak about it, that's when they actually became alive, right? So I'm just here to encourage you not to only, think about the things that you want, but talk about them, give them life. Your voice has power. There's power in all of the words that we actually speak. That's why it's imperative that we are intentional with the things that we say, especially about ourselves, right? I I had to create a habit, and I'm still working on it, of speaking life to my own self, because I was so hard on myself, and I'm still hard on myself at times. But I was so hard on myself, and I had all of these shoulds or these supposed tos, and it was a journey, but I had to work through figuring out why I had those and then letting them go, to not hold myself accountable to things that are not healthy or did not make any sense to who I am, who I really am in my life right now. So again, gratitude from last week. Recognize the things that are working for you, that are working for your good, but then speak. Speak about those things as well. There's power in your words. As clear as I can hear my voice right now, as clear as I can say, I'm encouraging someone else who may watch this video, I'm also encouraging myself. Every week that we go down here, either if it's with someone else or alone, I am always encouraging myself at the same time as I'm offering these words of empowerment to you. Okay, so that was my brief share for today, just to remind you that there is power, immense power in your words. You can change the way you think. That will affect the way you speak about yourself, the way you show gratitude to yourself and to others, and allow that energy to come out of you so that it can come back to you. All right. And once again, I'd just like to make note that Speak Initiative is available for anyone who may be challenging, may be experiencing some challenging issues that we are able to help with, or give you recommendations for other partnerships that we are working with. And also, we are looking for um, clients, and we're looking for donations. So, again, thank you so much for being here this evening. Until next time, take care.